In mastering craft, ottomans are not used to elevate your feet. They are made to investigate the ways in which interior spaces shape our memories. Fabrics are not intended to be quilts. Rather, they are woven together to create a playful and immersive landscape. Whiskey jugs are not vessels for quenching one's thirst. They are formed to contemplate the food industry. Art textbooks teach us that craft and fine art are two different things, but contemporary artists are challenging this notion. The work featured in Mastering Craft visually complements William King Museum of Art's permanent collection and ponders the question, is contemporary craft blurring the lines between craft and fine art? In the early 20th century, economic disparity in the mountain region led to the marketing of handmade crafts. Craft schools aided in the Appalachian craft revival and provided opportunities for makers to create and sell their products. Two major craft schools are rooted in this craft revival: Arrowmont School of Arts and Crafts and Penland School of Craft. Arrowmont and Penland share very similar beginnings. Arrowmont School of Craft was established in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in 1912 by a woman named Mary Pollard. The school began as a weaving program for women to sell their woven coverlets so that they could provide for their families. Similarly, Penland School of Craft, founded in 1920 in Penland, North Carolina, was started by a weaver named Lucy Morgan, or Miss Lucy as most called her. Miss Lucy began a program called the Penland Weavers, an organization that provided local women the means to sell and market their hand-woven goods. Today, both institutions are internationally recognized visual arts centers that provide year-round workshops and opportunities to engage in craft, both traditional and contemporary. Mastering Craft, Contemporary Ideas from Regional Makers, is a celebration of the continuing, flourishing craft movement that has taken shape here in Appalachia, as well as the craftspeople living and working within the region. This exhibition features the works of art from 3 former resident artists from Arrowmont and 3 former resident artists from Penland that use traditional craft methods to expand their contemporary ideas. In conjunction with the Crooked Road, this exhibit features music from regional musicians that, much like the visual artists in this exhibit, use traditional folk music as a foundation for their contemporary sound and meaning. This curated selection of music gives examples of the evolution of traditional folk music, featuring musicians such as the Indian Run String Band, Jeff Liverman, and Annabelle's Curse. This exhibition also features the poetry of local poet Kel Basavraham. Poetry has been incorporated into craft for quite some time. You can see examples of crafts that include poetry in our cultural heritage galleries. Poetry, too, is yet another art form that continues to transform and manifest itself in new ways. So whether it's the visual arts, music, or poetry, traditions within our beautiful mountain region are continuing to evolve and grow in ways that help us to connect with one another and the world around us. These acts of creating incorporate new thoughts and new ideas into our lives, whether you see it, hear it, or read it. How are you mastering your craft?
Stay right next to you.